Peace, peace.
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 So
Peace,
yeah,
peace.
so yeah, welcome to Spears and Mics. Welcome back. This is on YouTube live right now. And we got a special guest today. Our brother Zulu King Koopa out of Oklahoma,
Nice.
represent OKZ. Um, for those that know, my name is Zulu King L1. I'm here with my great brothers, the co-host, Watt Slice and Just P.
Peace.
And again, just to let y'all know, we got our brother Zulu King Cooper in the building with us from Oklahoma. So we brought the brother on here to get his story. We wanted the rest of the Zulus, the rest of the world to know, some of the work that and some of the experiences that our brother's been through. I really like these interviews, gets to know, even though we know our brother pretty well, we get to know him on a deeper level. So for those that don't know your story, where were obviously you're from Oklahoma, but were you
Mhm.
born and raised out there? Like, give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so peace. First off, peace to y'all brothers, man. It's been a long
Peace.
time since I've
Peace.
spoke with y'all and everything like that. So I'm really gonna enjoy this. I think the last time I was with y'all was 20 I think it was 2019. That was the last time I was in New York. I actually came to your place, L. We had watched the Ruiz and Joshua fight. You remember that?
Yeah,
First,
out in
that first one.
Yonkers. Yeah.
That first one
Yep.
when he surprised everybody. We was all out and shit, whatever. But it's been
Yeah.
a while, so yeah, good to be here
That's
with
when we
y'all.
seen that horrific car accident in the Bronx on
Oh
the
my God, you
Deegan.
just you just reminded me, but I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
Yo, no lie. Cause y'all brothers weren't with us, but there was a shorty hanging out the vehicle with her boobs out,
Yeah,
covered in blood,
yeah,
like people just dead.
Yeah,
and
you
we
told
had
me
to,
about that. I remember you
Oh,
yeah,
I
told me,
we
told
had
you
to
yeah.
about that
drive by
word.
it
Yeah,
real
you did.
slow
You
too
did.
because of the traffic.
It was
Wow.
crazy,
Hmm.
Wow.
and I think Cooper, you was the one that like, yo, we gotta help them. We gotta help them. I'm like, hell no, we ain't getting out this
Hey,
car and getting killed right now in the
hey,
4 in the morning
We
on the
always out on the
Deegan car.
Deegan? Oh, the Deegan. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yo,
yeah.
four in the
Cars ain't
morning. It's like
stopping.
three.
Oh, nah,
Not
nah. Ain't
yo.
nobody stopping. Yeah,
He wanted
nobody
to do the
stopping.
hero thing, and all respect due, I'm down to help people in need. But when them cars is driving, you already know the Bronx. eighty
Oh,
percent of them
yeah.
cars was drunk driving,
Yeah, yeah.
no
Or high.
license,
Or
no
high. Yeah,
insurance, or
yeah,
high,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
would have
yeah.
got mowed down, and no one would have stopped
Yeah,
them. You
y'all
know
would
what I
have been
Yeah,
the
mean? Like we
second
would
yeah,
have
that's
horrific accident.
exactly.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
crazy about that is people were just still flying by. We were able to drive by real slow because of where we were, but on the other side, people were just flying by. I'm like, yo, y'all don't see all these cars piling up. Y'all don't see all this, and then and it was more than just her. Remember, it
Right.
was
The
there was some other
windshield.
people hanging out the car too, and then there was some
Right.
people on the ground. I've never seen
Yeah.
nothing like that, bro. I
Yeah.
haven't. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, it was
That's
wild.
wild. That's wild.
So about me. So I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born in Weatherford, Oklahoma. It's a small town outside of in southwestern Oklahoma. Whenever I was younger, I moved to Midwest City, Oklahoma, where I was raised. That's right outside of Oklahoma City. Um, I tell people all the time that I was blessed because I had both of my parents in the home. It wasn't always they didn't always get along the best, you know what I mean? But I had them both there, and I thank God for that. But me personally, I grew up. I was a really shy child. I did not like talking to people at all. Um, I I honestly thought there was something wrong with how shy I was. Like I just, talking to anybody, I was just like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I eventually grew out of that whenever I joined the Navy. Me and the me and the brother Watt could talk about that in a
Yeah,
second
yeah,
because
yeah.
you know what I'm getting at with that.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah, 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 definitely.
but grew up. I had a pretty quiet life. You know what I mean? I wasn't in a lot of trouble. I was afraid to get in trouble, to be honest with you, because my dad he told me that if I got in trouble out there, it would be a lot worse whenever I got home. And that
Mm.
put the fear of God in me because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I realized that I missed out on a lot of the fun that my peers were having based on being afraid like that. But at the end of the day, it kept me out of trouble. So I think it was a blessing that I had that type of fear in me. So, a lot of people talk about partying and all the trouble they got into. I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I would go home. I would play video games. That was my thing. I watched wrestling. Pretty much a lot of nerd shit. That's just what I did. But like I said, it kept me safe because a lot of my friends, they were getting in trouble. They were getting arrested. They were getting in fights and things like that. And y'all know fights don't always end with people going home. A lot of times people leave in a box. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much my life growing up. Like I was at home a lot. I was at home playing video games. I went and hooped anytime I could, but for the most part, I was at home.
Quick question about, your upbringing in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
When people think of Oklahoma, like especially here from New York, we think about the Oklahoma City bombing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, that was a major news. It was like, a big thing to the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're in New York, so we really didn't experience like the devastation or the sorrow or what that did. Do you remember like what it was like during that time, for you in the city and,
Mm-hmm.
experiences?
So I believe I was in fourth grade whenever that happened. No.
Mm,
I think I was in second or third grade. Fourth grade. It was the OJ trial. That was something else. But I do remember that because there was an aftershock or like a shock wave that shook the city. Midwest City is about 20 minutes outside of downtown Oklahoma City, what we call Bricktown, and the wave hit us. It wasn't like
mm,
enough to make us fall down or whatever, but we could just feel the tremor,
mm,
just ever so slightly. And afterwards, it was just a lot of people crying because Oklahoma is very small, so you pretty much know everybody, and there was always a connection to someone that may have perished in the bombing. Um, I still remember seeing Timothy McVeigh's face because for a while no one knew who did it, and whenever we found out it was him, it's like like damn dude, like why would you do that? But yeah, I remember it very well. And at the same time, that's also my brother's birthday. His birthday is
mm,
April 19th, and that's when the Oklahoma City bombing was.
mm. So, one more, a two-part question.
Mhm.
You said in your youth, you watched a lot of wrestling and played video games. Give me your top wrestler, number one top wrestler, from back then, and also a video game that you wasted a lot of hours on.
Man, so on any given day, this is just like the hip hop question, you know what I'm saying? Like on any given day, your top five may change.
That's a
But
fact.
when it comes to wrestling, I mean Stone Cold was it. Stone Cold
Hmm.
was he was it. But at the same time, during that Attitude Era, The Rock, he was ascending. You know what I mean? It's like when that music hit, it's like you were screaming with the crowd, like you're there.
Hmm.
But at the same time, when that glass break, you know what it is. You know what time it
Word,
is.
word.
I'm
Like,
I'm pretty sure we've all done this. I mean, I haven't done it with real beer, but we've grabbed cans of Coke. You know what I'm saying? Banged them together and did just like all. We've all done it. You know what I'm saying? I did it with root beer, cream soda. All those things. So I would have to say Stone Cold was definitely. I mean, I still think he's the GOAT right now. A lot of people talk about Hogan. I think Hogan was a piece of shit. He was racist. And
but
even before that, even before that, I always thought the leg drop was the weakest shit ever.
me too.
I never
Me
got
too.
into it. Bro, the whole crowd would just go crazy when he's doing all that stupid shit, all that.
Yeah.
I never got
And
into it.
him hating on Jesse Ventura too about
That too,
about
yeah,
unionizing wrestling because this was
yeah,
before we even knew he was racist,
right,
or he
right.
had racist, whatever
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it. But that what he did to Jesse Ventura was foul too. I never liked Hogan either, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it, and then his style of wrestling, I couldn't get into it. Now, don't get me wrong, I like different styles like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy. Edge, Christian, Dudley Boyz, because Stone Cold isn't like the most athletic wrestler that we've seen. You know what I mean? I
Right,
mean,
right,
granted,
right.
you don't see a lot of that from the heavyweights, but it was mainly his persona and what he meant. Because remember, like I said, Attitude Era, they had middle fingers on TV. They didn't
Right.
bleep
Yep.
out a lot of the
Yep.
stuff that they had. You know what I'm saying?
Show us
And
the
people get it.
puppies.
A lot of
Huh?
crazy content.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
remember
And
that?
remember,
Show us
He
the
he
puppies.
right. Stone Cold was more of a technical wrestler when he was stunning Steve. Like
right,
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
was
right, right.
moves.
part of the Hollywood Blondes and all of that with
Mm-hmm.
Brian Pillman when
Mm-hmm.
WCW. But when I
Yeah,
think him going to ECW kind of like because he kind of stole the beard thing from Sandman a little bit. But
you're
I
right.
guess
I didn't
he
Hmm.
even think of
you
that.
know right.
Yeah.
But he kind of like grabbed the two together and did the
Mm-hmm.
two. Sandman only did one and then he smashed the can on his head.
Smash his head. Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But yeah, I think he got his persona um like he kicked it up a notch after he
Mm-hmm.
left ECW and got the call to be the ringmaster in
Mm-hmm.
WWF at the time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I
I
think
remember
Stone
that.
Cold is up there. He's on my Mount Rushmore for sure.
Oh, absolutely,
For sure, for
absolutely, one hundred
sure.
percent, 100%. As far as video games, you said what game I wasted a lot of time on. So my first system was a Super Nintendo, and whenever we bought it, it came with the Super Mario World. So I wasted a lot
Mm,
of time on that.
Fire.
But
That game
but
is
what
fire.
or
really, yeah, but what it really was is when I got a Nintendo 64, and I bought that Zelda Link to the Past. I think that's what it's called. No,
Hmm.
mm,
Ocarina of Time, bro. I spent so much time on that because you have to like go back in time. You like put the Master Sword down, go back in time. You shift from an adult to a kid often, and I mean that game is one of the
Yeah,
greatest
people
games ever,
sleep on
bro.
Zelda. People sleep on Legend of
Listen,
Zelda. That's
hmm
a fire game. Even from Nintendo. I
hmm
love Zelda. I love Zelda.
so it was both
Yeah.
of them. It was the Nintendo 64 one, and then the one that was on Super Nintendo. Um,
Okay.
it was both of those because I mean those are long games. Like these aren't games you can
right.
just do in one night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
if
Right.
you want to, but like I spent so much time on those. But of course, I still played like all the wrestling games. I played NBA Jams.
Yeah.
Um, I played Ninja Turtles. That's one of my
Hmm.
favorites as well. The Turtles in Time.
Turtles in
Man,
Yeah.
Time is
Great game.
fire. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I played
Great
all
game.
those, bro. But yeah, that's what I played, man.
No doubt. Good selections.
I want to ask
So,
y'all real quick. I want to ask all three of y'all, maybe y'all two. You really think Stone Cold's on your Mount Rushmore overall? Like to me, when you
He's
went
on the
on,
Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
all right, but all right, because like when Koopa was like Stone Cold, like he might be a little younger. You know what I'm saying? Because you were like 4 or something. You said when during the OJ trial or something like that.
I
No, he
was
said he was
in
in fourth grade,
I
fourth
was
or
in
fifth
fourth
grade.
grade.
that's
So
Because
that's
about
like
9.
9, 10.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think I might have been like 14,
I was like
15.
14.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But so I don't know if like you was watching like you went back or were you watching wrestling from like Dusty Rhodes, like all the older people, Lou Alcindor,
So
like that.
the
It's
first
Stone
wrestling I
Cold is the
Lou
default.
Alcindor.
Like
Lou
oh,
Albano, you mean?
Lou
Lou Albert.
Albano, that's what I said. I said
I
Lou
said
Albano.
Kareem.
That's cool.
He
That's
said
cool.
Kareem
Lou
Abdul-Jabbar.
Alcindor was wrestling. Nah, Lou
You
Alcindor
know
was
what I
in
mean?
Game of Death with Bruce Lee.
That's a
I
fact.
was just about to say that.
But Lou Albano
Yo.
was who's the little white guy? Was Lou Albano?
Lou
Was it Lou
Albano
Albano?
was he was a wrestler and then he became a manager. I think he was
Lou
a
Right,
wrestler
right.
for
Albano
a
from
brief
from
What I'm
time.
Cindy
saying to me, like,
Yeah,
Lauper's
yeah,
video.
from
right,
Rock and
that's a
Wrestling. Yeah,
fact.
from
That's
Rock and
a fact.
Wrestling.
That's because I was mad
Captain
young.
Lou Albano.
Yeah, when I was mad young watching wrestling. So like if I
Captain Lou Alcindor.
That's funny as
I
hell.
had a straight face, that's because I'm old. You know what I'm saying? So I
No,
don't know.
but Dusty Rhodes ain't on no Mount Rushmore though.
No,
I'm just
no, no,
saying,
no.
going back to that whole era from all the way old shit
No,
to
there was
right
a
now,
lot of people,
you
but
would
I'm
put
talking
so
about
many in it. You
yeah,
into the
absolutely.
wall.
Heck
And Mount
yeah.
Rushmore was
Yo,
like four Oh, you put Stone Cold on there?
So
I'm
so
putting
so let me say
His
this. So,
impact is crazy.
Nah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
and I'm
Crazy.
putting Undertaker's my favorite personally.
Undertaker, I can see him being
mhm.
up there.
Undertaker's my favorite.
Bret Hart,
so
But Stone Cold is there. It's Stone, and I gotta
I
put The
like
Rock
Stone
up
Cold.
there too.
Huh?
I
I
gotta
think
put The Rock up
the
there
first
too.
match I ever saw. I'm
Both?
just thinking back was Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. It was a ladder match. I
Yup.
think for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh,
I think that
ooh,
was the first one.
that was a
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, their
legendary
ladder
match.
match.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
Never
so,
seen that.
that was the first ladder match, actually. I think.
oh, okay, yeah,
In
yeah.
I think it
yeah, I think that was the
was. I
first
think it
ladder match.
was.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think
fire.
it
like,
That's
was.
a fire match.
Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Lex Luger,
Lex Luger.
Ron Simmons,
What's your
Oh
boy
yeah,
um,
Ron
Ace Steel?
Simmons. That's the
What?
guy.
Ahmed Johnson. I mean, he didn't last too long. Ahmed Johnson. Who else from that era? Ted DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
those were before the Attitude Era. Because remember what years was the
Right.
Attitude Era? That was
The Attitude
Attitude
Era was in
Errors.
'99, right?
I
yeah,
thought
Was
the
it
Yeah.
Attitude Era
99,
was
2000 to like
Mm-hmm.
like that.
2005 or 6 or something like that?
mhm,
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the aggression era right after that.
Why do you
That's
right,
when I
call it
Right.
right.
stopped
the Attitude
watching.
Era? Why do you call
Yeah,
it?
me too.
I stopped watching during the Attitude is because it was uncensored. Because Stone Cold, when he won King of the Ring, that's when he cut the
That
Austin
legendary
316
promo.
promo.
Yeah.
That's when he
Mhm,
cut the promo. So it was like Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass." Nobody
mhm.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
talking like that.
That's true. That's
Right.
Right.
true.
Nobody wasn't talking like
That's
that.
true.
And
That's true.
then DX, you had the Generation X,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
suck it.
then
Man.
right, and then you had Bret Hart with his stable, with the Canadian stable, and they was kind of
Yeah.
like going against America
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time. That
Ooh.
was the
Mm-hmm.
gimmick, like
Okay.
going like
I kind
waving
of
the
stopped
Canadian
watching
flag. So that was
wrestling.
the attitude. Yeah, I stopped
Mm-hmm.
watching during the aggression era, and
What's
then
the
I picked it
addition
back.
of?
I watch it now. I watch it now. The aggression era is like the corporation, like the corporate ministry.
Mm.
Um, who else? Who else was in it? I think that's when he bought WCW. I think that's like
Oh,
when the
okay.
Yeah, that
invasion
was
angle
when they
came.
crossed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They crossed
Okay.
over.
Right,
Yeah,
the ECW and
yeah.
WCW and all of that, and they tried to
Mhm.
bring NWO. I
And
kind of
also
like I
where
watch
Vince became
old stuff
more like visible
on
too,
screen.
right? As a
Right,
as
right,
a
right.
right,
On screen, right. As the
right.
boss. Right, right,
That's
right,
Exactly,
right.
right.
true.
Yeah.
But mad
That
people
no
As
fuck
the
with
boss.
chance type
that.
of
People
Right.
fuck with it
Cause
now.
cause when we started watching wrestling, Vince was a commentator. Because
that's a
Yeah.
before that,
fact.
he was a
Mhm.
referee. He was a
Gorilla
referee
Monsoon,
first. And
Yeah.
Jesse the
him and
Body.
Jesse, right? They used to do the color commentating
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
his father
And
still
Vince was
was
damn good
running the
at that
company.
too.
Nah,
Vince was
he
damn
was,
good.
he
He
was,
was
and
real
then they
good at that.
replaced him. They had Bobby Heenan after that,
I mean,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, for a while, right?
and out of
But
all of that, you put The Rock and Stone Cold. You put The Rock.
look what The Rock did.
They're two of the
It's the
greatest of
impact,
their
bro.
era.
You got
Oh
to
no!
see that.
Like I
Impact
already,
is crazy.
it was already like cheesy shit by
Although
then.
I hated The Rock when he first came out with Rocky Maivia. I
Oh
hated
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
was
like that
rooting,
either. I didn't like that
you know what I'm saying? But
either.
when he became The Rock, like The Rock with the people's eyebrow, the people's champion,
Yeah, it was
you
already
know,
It was
the
like
Nation
crazy.
of
It was crazy.
Domination,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
That was part
saying?
of the aggression era too, the Nation of
Mhm.
Domination. Remember, no,
yo,
they were Attitude, and then
They
they
were, yeah,
kind
they
of
were
like
attitude.
transition, and then yeah,
was a-
'cause they was talking some crazy stuff too. They was talking some
Yeah,
crazy
that's a
stuff
fact.
too.
Yeah, they
But
yeah.
was.
I stopped watching whenever John Cena
yeah,
started
yeah.
ascending, and then another one I did not like was JBL. I could not stand
I
that
couldn't
Yeah,
dude.
I
stand
never liked him. I
JBL
never
neither.
liked him either.
That whole character, like I liked him when he was
Yeah.
Bradshaw, when he was with Farouk, but that whole
Okay.
character I
Right.
just couldn't get
Yeah, the
with it.
acolytes. Yeah, the acolytes.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get with it. That when that little stock market music came on, I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
man, let me
yeah.
turn this. I can't
Yeah,
stand. He come out
I
there
couldn't
now.
stand him neither. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah, yeah.
bro, nah. Mm-mm.
I didn't
Crazy.
like him. He was like a used car salesman. He had that used car salesman
Right, right,
music.
Yeah,
Couldn't
right.
man.
stand him
Ugh.
neither. I didn't like JBL either. But yeah, absolutely
Mm-mm.
Stone Cold is up there. They'll tell you
Yeah.
that. Wrestlers will tell you that.
Who's in your Mount Rushmore, bro? Who is it?
I don't know, but I'm just saying there's like to put it like I can't see how The Rock
You said
and
Dusty
Stone
Rhodes. You
like that.
said Dusty
Any of them,
Rhodes.
Gold Dust, all that of all them Ultimate Warrior, any of them old ones to
No,
only put
Ultimate
like
Warrior
four?
wasn't a good wrestler though.
No,
What?
Like if you look at
And
it
Hulk
now,
no,
he
no,
wasn't
bro.
a
Come
good
on, bro.
worker.
Hogan,
He wasn't a good worker. Nah, I used
he
to
wasn't
like
a good worker.
Ultimate Warrior when I was
And hated
younger.
by the boys in the back too.
Because,
Everyone
yeah,
hated
because
him.
he
Ultimate
used to
Warrior
come to the
had
ring.
hard.
He run to the ring, shake the
Yeah,
ropes,
business.
and he beat Honky Tonk Man in like 8 seconds to get the IC belt. And
Squash
then,
Hard
matches,
body.
yeah,
squash
like
matches. That's
he
Mm-hmm.
all.
wasn't
Hard
good. He
body.
wasn't good, man. They used to have to carry him through matches because the
That's
steroids
Yeah.
was
crazy. But
running.
He
He
not
was
even
running
messing
low.
with ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh nah,
he's
Rick
messed
Rude
up.
Warrior ain't
was
even
a
messing
god.
with Rick Rude.
Nah, not
Rick
at
was
Mm-hmm.
all.
alright. The Hart,
Nah, Rick
any
Rude
of
was
the
the guy.
Hart family, that whole squad. Ravishing Rick Rude was cool. I liked him a lot. I liked
Listen,
Yeah,
Rick
yeah,
Rude
yeah, yeah.
had who he had Jake the Snake's wisdom on
Yeah,
his
on his
tights,
tights
right? He had Jake the
where
Snake's
the
wife
mouth where
on
his
his
crotch
tights.
was,
There's
yo.
almost
Like,
like
yo, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yo, I'm telling you, his tights were crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I was okay. All right, the Undertaker was
No, Razor
fired for a
Ramon was
long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Undertaker was fired for a very
Razor
long
Ramon
time.
too.
Undertaker
Yeah.
was
Razor
good.
Ramon. Yep.
And then
Scott
Nah,
after,
Hall was
Razor
the guy.
Ramon's in my
Scott
top
Hall
four.
was the
He's
guy.
in my
yeah,
he's in my
Razor
mouth.
Ramon was the truth. I liked him a lot when coming up.
I think
I
Taker
like
just
I
the
really
Hart.
because of
thought
his
bro was Cuban.
longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's crazy.
I like
No,
the
he
Remember I
used to
Hart.
be
told
he
you
used to be respected.
when he
Was
was
up. I
Big
liked
Sky
him.
Hall, you wouldn't even have known he was Razor Ramon because he
No,
had the
I knew.
big
I
when he
Yeah,
knew
was
you
it was
at
told me he
he
looked
had
like
the
the
big
brown,
thick
the brawny.
mustache.
He
Yeah, he
looked.
like the brawny paper towel guy. And he was like
That's a
really
fact.
jacked up.
Crazy,
He was
crazy
really jacked up. And
transformation.
then yeah, and then because they was
And
trying to
then
make him like the
they
next
put
Hulk
the
Hogan. When Hulk Hogan left
right.
what was it, AWA? When he left to go to WWF, they were like trying to prop up Scott Hall to become the next Hogan. And then I get obviously it didn't work because I think
Right.
AWA folded not too long after.
Mm.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, wrestling is
I
dope.
didn't
But
watch
back
That
to
nothing.
you.
razor gimmick had me fooled.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
Let's go
what
back.
made you join the Navy?
So I went to junior college right after high school. I went for a year and I was just burned out of school, you know what I mean? So I went back home and I worked for I'd say about 9 months or so. I had a call center job for DirecTV, and
Mm.
then that didn't last. So then I ended up working this valet parking job, and so I was working there, and I was just thinking to myself, I was 20 at the time, and I was just thinking to myself, you know, there's got to be more to life than this, you know what I mean? I want to do something. And I had thought back to, y'all know in high school, the recruiters are always at your high school trying to get you to join and everything. And the Navy recruiters that came to my house when I was 17, and my mom was like, you know, he's not mature enough. He's not ready. I don't want him to go, and pretty much kicked him out of the house. But now that I was 20, I can make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I went back over to the recruiting office just to hear what they had to say. And, you know, they sell you the world. They will tell
Absolutely.
you all these wonderful things that you're gonna get. You're gonna travel. Like one of the things that they do is they have this world map on the wall, and each
Mm-hmm.
recruiter will have these safety pins or these thumbtacks, and they'll represent a color for every country that they've been to, and they'll say, "Look, all right, here I'm blue. Look at all those blue tacks. Those are all the places I've been, and you can do that too." And I'm like, man, you know, I can get out of Oklahoma and go to Japan, go to Australia, things like that. Then I can, you know, get money for college. I can, you know, just be on my own. And so ultimately I decided to join, and it wasn't on a whim. I definitely put some thought into it, but I joined just because, you know, the slogan at the time was accelerate your life. And I'm like, I want to accelerate my life, as corny as that is. And I ended up joining. And I tell people all the time that was the best and worst decision I've ever made in my life, because, you know, I'm still able to benefit from the Navy, you know, all the
Mm-hmm.
experiences and, you know, the things I have now. But at the same time, you know, it comes with its consequences. I missed out on a lot of things. And I've also been in situations that I just wish I was never in. Um, I don't believe anybody joins the military and comes back the same way they left. You know what I'm saying? Just, horrible situations. I've met horrible people. I've met wonderful people, but it has its effect on you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
Mm.
That's
So you went to boot camp in Great Lakes, I take it. Um, what was
yep.
your rate? What was your rate? What did you
I was an
go for?
SH.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Supply.
I
All
was
right.
an SH. So what I told the supply department, what I told the recruiter, well, not the recruiter, the detailer, when it came time to picking your job, was I was like, listen, it's some crazy stuff going on right now. I joined in 2007, and at that
Okay.
time, we had invaded Iraq, and people
Mm-hmm.
were going over there and they were not coming home.
Right.
And my mom, she couldn't tell me that I could not join, but I told her I would not, as best as I can, I will not get myself in a situation where I can get killed, or if I have to kill somebody, because I don't want that on my conscience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so I told that to the detailer. I said, I don't want to be in a position where I can get killed. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Everybody at some point ends up in a situation where that can happen to them. But I also asked him. I said, "Well, based on this list of things that I have, based on this list of rates, what would you choose?" And he said, "Well, I'll be honest with you. You're going to be on a ship, and the best thing to do on a ship is to be comfortable and to be in air conditioning, because you're going to deploy to the Gulf, and it's hot as hell outside, and
Absolutely.
so you don't want to be on deck. On deck is like the bosun mates, people that
I
work
was a bosun's
outside,
mate.
the
I was a
AWs
bosun
that are
mate.
working
So
on
yep.
aircrafts
Yep.
and things like that. You don't want to be
Yep.
out there on that flight deck,
You don't want to be an
because
engineer
that
neither.
sun in the Gulf, it's bro. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went
I
out there
know.
for flight ops a few times. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
I never I didn't want to do that, and so that's why I chose SH. It wasn't I wanted to work in stores or work in supply department. It was to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I was comfortable most of the time.
So you always had the hookup then, because I know everybody I knew in supply, they always had to get the fresh boots, the fresh steel toe boots, get a haircut. They control the barbershop, the laundry. Um, the
Mm-hmm.
MSs are part of supply also, the cooks. What ship were you on?
I was on the USS Shoup DDG 86. It's a
Oh, you was
guided
on a
coastal
small boy.
destroyer in Everett,
Okay.
Washington.
Okay. You was on. I was
Yep.
on
I
a
don't know.
LHD.
One thing I learned, because you just mentioned it. I think there's something going on with my connection. Hold up. Can y'all hear me?
I
Yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay. There was something going on with connection. You had mentioned like laundry service. What I realized underway is that laundry is gold. Like
Hmm.
everybody wants clean clothes. Everybody wants to, be your friend whenever you can hook them up with that. And I mean, it
Absolutely.
was it was a wonderful perk to have too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I did my own laundry on the ship, but if I needed and I normally like press my own utilities, but I was cool with people in supply. So if I had like a
Mm-hmm.
late watch, I'm like, yo, I need this press my coveralls, or you could press my utilities or whatever, or grab me if you got a pair,
Mm-hmm.
a size 11s, like hold me down, whatever. And they would,
Mm-hmm.
like, or even like if I was cool with some of the MSs, those are the hooks on the ship, like I'm coming off watch like 3 in the morning and like whip me up something so I don't gotta wait in line. Cause underway, like the chow line always
Mm-hmm.
open, you know. So I was on the
Mm-hmm.
LHD, like a little smaller
Oh,
than
okay,
a
got you,
aircraft
got you.
carrier, yeah, on the USS Iwo Jima. So
Mm-hmm.
like we had, I'm sure y'all ain't have no women on the ship. We had women. Probably y'all probably had like one officer that was a female. My ship was it was crazy. It was crazy because we had females on the ship. So everything was going
Mm-hmm.
on. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually like when I think about it now, I might have done better if I was on a small boy. You know what I'm saying? I think I would have done better
I'll
personally
tell you.
if I was on a
I'll tell
small
you,
boat.
being on a smaller ship, yeah, being
I
on a
could,
smaller ship, you got to know everybody. You got to build better relationships with people because, like I said,
right,
it's 250 people on a DDG, and you know just about everything about everybody. You know who's married.
right.
You know how many kids they
Hmm.
have. You know their jobs.
Hmm.
You know what pisses them off. You know everything, and it's crazy. You get to know people, that many people at one time, so fast because you can go underway for like 2 weeks and you come back and you know everybody and you do
Right,
this for 4 years. I mean, you grow really close to people,
right. Yeah, as
Was
in
to the two of
go
you.
ahead, go ahead. Mhm.
Do you guys feel like the military is something that helps like your life now today, or does it did it ultimately take away that time that you gave to the military? To the both of you guys.
did it
Um,
do what? I didn't hear that
Like, do
part.
you feel like did going to the military help you with like your life right now, or did it
Hmm.
ultimately take away because you put some time? So did that time take away, or does it add to your life ultimately overall right now?
Hmm.
both.
So for me, yeah, most definitely. Like I tell people all the time, like the military takes time off your life. I'm looking back, a lot of the chiefs and officers that looked like they were in their 60s, they were only like mid 30s. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
Hmm.
But that stress just, stress messes with your face. And a
Hmm.
lot of those people, they walk around with just hardened faces. And I'm like, yo, you've been through it. We call them salty because they've been out to sea
Hmm.
for so long. And
mm,
they
Hmm.
just, man, it takes time off your life. But at the same time, like it boosts you in life. You know what I mean? Uh I don't want to get mad about this, but you can uh get VA benefits.
right, right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's a big help in life, even though you
yeah.
have to fight like hell for them.
Yo, I
But
was just about to
it
say
really
that.
helps you.
I just
But
came back from Florida, um, fighting still. I have some VA benefits, but I'm not 100% yet. And I think it's real disingenuous to like those doctors that examine us for whatever, whether it be physical or mental, that we have to get denied and appeal and appeal and appeal and appeal when they don't know what we went through, for those 4 years, whether you were a part of a war or not. You could develop anything but not even leaving the base, for real. Like there's people that have shore duty that have issues, whether it be mental or physical, and then you got to get out and you have to fight,
right, right.
like you said, fight like hell. Like it's an everyday thing. Like how you gonna tell me how I'm feeling, and this is
Mhm,
not service connected, where the paperwork is showing that it happened while serving.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And you got to continue
mhm.
to fight. So yeah, I say it's
Yeah.
both. You know what I'm saying? Like the traumatic experiences, and then
Mhm.
like you get compensated for it, but you got to fight for it. And then like you got to go back and forth with doctors that don't even know you, and they're telling you that nah, that's not what this is. You know what I'm saying? I just went through it. Literally, I just went through it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how
So.
I don't know if y'all can peep it, but y'all can tell how serious this is just by hearing the stress in the brother's voice when he's talking about it. That's how bad it is. Because like he said, you submit all this stuff for a claim, and you know what you're going through. You know the ailments you have. You know if you have PTSD, what your thoughts are, and you have this VA adjudicator that's just reading over everything and will just deny your shit outright, just based off
Mhm.
of a technicality or them believing based on this paperwork. And it's frustrating because it's like, I know what I'm going through. Why are you denying me? I've done everything.
Right, right.
So
Right.
we go and fight terrorism out there, and then have to fight the VA all for years after we've been
Wonderful.
discharged. I was just reading about a veteran the other day that said he finally got to 100% after fighting for 11 years for it.
That's
11
crazy.
years fighting the VA. But the worst one, and I tell my wife about this one often, is when I worked at the VA back in 2021, I was told of a veteran that lost his leg. He lost his leg in Iraq, Afghanistan, one of those places, and they rated this brother at 30%. 20, it wasn't 100%. I can't remember what it was, but he
That's
lost his
crazy.
leg, and they rated him under 100%. How do you
That's
lose a
crazy.
limb and you're not 100%
That's
disabled? It's
automatic.
shit
That's
like that.
automatic.
It's shit
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, and
You know
not
what I'm saying?
only you fight terrorism overseas, like you fight racism on the ship. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that. Because I'm sure I don't know if you experienced any kind of like racism in your how long you served? 4 years? You did one tour? You can hear
Your
me?
sound is going in and out. I didn't hear what you asked me, brother.
I said you just did 4 years?
It might be the mic.
You did one tour?
Yeah,
You can't hear me?
his sound is going in and out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
I don't
hearing him.
hear him either. I lose him at
You don't
times.
hear me? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah.
Could be his internet connection too. See, look, now we losing him. All right. In the meantime, I'm sure Watt's gonna pop back in. Um,
Yeah, the good stuff.
one thing, one thing that a common thing that I hear from some of the Zulus, some of my friends, co-workers that have all served, and I'll say like most of them that I've been cool with are either Puerto Rican, Dominican, or Black
Mhm.
American, or Afro Caribbean. A lot of people have experienced racism in the
Mhm.
military, and from what they've told me, here everyone's supposed to be on one team, one branch, and there's a lot of racism that they dealt with that made them feel like uncomfortable during their time of service, and fights breaking out between people and stuff like that. Like, so did you personally experience racism in the military, or maybe it didn't necessarily like affect you firsthand, but like did you witness any type of racism?
Absolutely, and it's never. Well, I can't say never, but a lot of times, most of the time, it's excuse me. It's more subtle than anything. It's not
Mm,
just in your face, and that happened all the time. Just seeing how you were treated versus someone else, and you
hmm
try to think to yourself like, it can't. It's not about race. This isn't about a race, but you end up putting things together and you realize, this person may have a problem with me, but I don't understand why. Because this other person they're treating, wonderfully. But me, I'm being treated differently. Why? And that there's so many people that have stories like that they're being treated a different way than anybody else, and it's not as if you did anything wrong, but this person has a bias, this person is prejudiced, this person is racist. um I've seen that happen with a lot of people, and it's unfortunate because, like you said, we all took the same oath, we all went to the same boot camp, we all did the same things to get here, but yet you're treating me differently. Why? You know what I mean? So I definitely experienced it, and what's sad about this, and I normally don't say things like this, but some of the biggest racism that I experienced in the Navy was from another black man, because
Ah,
he was such a Sambo that he wanted to kiss up to the chiefs and the officers,
dang.
and I'm thinking to myself, bro, like I'm this young man. He was from Texas. I'm this young man from Oklahoma. I'm just trying to find my way. And you're pushing me down to push yourself up. You know what I mean? Whenever these white officers and white chiefs would come in, he just, y'all seen the movie A Soldier Story with
of
Denzel
course.
Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that. He was a sarge. He was a
Mm,
sarge. But I wasn't in the Navy that we could fight, or we can go down on the reefer decks and we can handle it. I
Right.
wasn't in that. So therefore I couldn't put hands on him the way I wanted to. But that, and it's sad saying that because that's exactly how it was. That
Mm.
racism, and that's one of the reasons that I got out, because I served with him for 3 years on the dot. And most enlistments are 4 years, and 3 years of having to deal with that, bro. 3 years. And when he finally left, I'm like, I can breathe. I can, finally, enjoy this. But by then, the damage had already been done. So,
Right.
I just, when it was time to go, it was time to go.
I went through similar. I went through similar with a senior chief, and he ended up making Master Chief. He was from Trenton, New Jersey. He was in supply. He was in supply, but he was my watch section leader. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And he just like would be dogging me and dogging me. And then like I was 5 minutes late to a watch one night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this dude, I would leave the person 5 minutes late, of course. And I was like, yo, I'm sorry, whatever, whatever. Yo, this dude made me do a double watch. Told the person, like, yo, go back to sleep. Wilson got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this
Man,
dude like, yo, man, I wanted to I wanted to do something to him. I really did. I was like, yo, I was
listen,
hoping when we went to Fleet Week, I was hoping when we came to Fleet Week that I would catch him like
that's the time to
on
do it too.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like I was going to catch him because every time I went to Fleet Week twice when I was
Mm-hmm.
enlisted, so I would be on leave because I'm not walking around in my dress whites in New York. I'm not doing that, and I'm going home to be with my
Mm-hmm.
family. So like
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to 42nd Street and hope I catch this dude coming out of bar drunk or something, and I got on regular clothes, and I got a
Mm-hmm.
couple of the brothers with me, and we probably would have
Mm-hmm.
did something to him. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't catch I ain't get
No,
the
I
chance to
mean,
catch him.
hey, it's so many of us brothers that have that same story, and it's sad because again,
Yeah.
on the ship I was on, whenever we would have lunch or anything like that, we had this section where all the black folks would get together, and we would just have fun. We would just talk amongst each other, and ranks and everything like that didn't matter in our section. We just
Right.
we just loved each other. Tell me why this dude, he would come in there and he would say, y'all are being too loud. Y'all got to break this up. We can't be doing this. First off, who is we? Because you ain't even a part of none of this, bro. Like, you never sit with
Right.
us. So why are you coming over
Right.
here trying to tell us that we too loud and we this and we're that? Go on somewhere, man. But that's how he was. He would see us having a good time and just try to break, because he was an E6.
Okay, so
And
Chief.
he was first class. And
Oh,
so
first
he would
class, right,
just,
right, first class, right.
yeah, and he would just, he was such a sample. I hate talking about this dude because it's that memory is still there. And
Yeah,
even
nah.
today, if I saw him, it's a problem because again, you helped make my Navy career bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
All because of you. I could deal with it from anybody else, but when it's coming from another person that looks just like you, it's way worse, bro.
right, yeah. Because
Way
they
worse.
supposed to be pulling you up because they've been here, and they're supposed to be like even me. I had like little. I knew my job, but I had
Hmm.
like disciplinary I hated like micromanaging. I hated
Of
being
course.
micromanaged. So like I would rebel, but I still knew my job, and I did it
Hmm.
well, but it's like if you see somebody young, I was 18 when I went in. So when you see somebody young and he's salvageable, because I've been to captain's mast 6 times and I got an
Damn.
honorable discharge. Yeah.
Damn. Yo.
Yeah, I got six of them, bro. I got six of them, King.
How you
Like,
get an honorable
I
discharge with
know,
six captains?
yo. When I went to the psychiatrist to talk for the PTSD, she was looking at my service record. And she was like, "I don't understand." I said, "Understand what?" She said, "How do you have six NJPs and an honorable discharge?" I said,
That's
"Because
crazy.
every time I went to mass." They said I was salvageable because I knew my job. Like, and I done been in there. I done went to mass for AWOL, like really AWOL during wartime while on restriction. You know what I'm saying? Escape the ship and everything.
I'm sorry. I'm
Escape
not
or
laughing at
on
you, bro. That
restriction,
shit
on
that shit is funny
restriction.
though.
Nah, I'm a legend. Like, yo, nah, on my shit, on the, yo, I'm a legend. I'm serious. You can ask anybody that served with me. I'm a legend. But I got contempt towards a petty officer. I got assault on a petty officer. I got a bunch of joints. So, but like when you see somebody that's young like that, and has like that, you're supposed to try to redirect the energy in a positive way instead of like, my man from the Bronx, my man Angel, they told him, they told my man from Chicago, we had like a crew, you know what I'm saying? And we was
Mm,
always like we was the fly bosun mates. We used to have the shine shoes, everything, walk around with the marlin spike and the sheath and the knives and all of that. And we was fly, you know what I'm saying? And they used to try to be like, yo, our petty officers used to tell them like, yo, don't be around him. They tried to like isolate me. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? They tried to isolate me like, yo, he gonna crash by himself. You gonna make petty officer and he gonna be working for you. They was throwing the poison in their ears. Little did
mm.
they
Mm.
know that that's not stopping our friendship and our brotherhood
Right,
because it was
right.
stronger than anything y'all could say. And they eventually, two of them got kicked out for they failed the drug test. They was
I was about to say,
smoking
how they get
weed.
kicked out and you didn't?
Yeah, because I ain't get caught. I ain't get caught failing the drug test. And one made it. One made it. He made it. He got out of E4. He got out of E4.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of us ain't make it, man. But I made it, but I got out of E3 because they kept. And that's another thing. I would always P&A my exam when I be up for advancement. I would
mm.
always P&A, but that eval is
Right,
is to
right.
do you in. So they'll write
Mm,
the eval like working well with others. They give you like a 1. They give me a 1.
yeah,
You know what I'm
I can
saying?
see
Like,
that. Yeah.
nah, like they give me a bunch of ones and they be like, yo, you work good, but only by yourself. You're not a
Mm,
team player. And they always would tell me, yo, you got to play the game. And I'm like, yo, but my life isn't a game. I used to tell them that you got to play the game, Wilson. You got to keep your nose clean. You know the sayings they say,
yeah.
keep your nose
Mm,
clean, play the
mm.
game. And I'm just like, yo, my life's not a game. This is my life. You know what I'm saying? A game is a game. This is life. I'm not gonna let y'all play with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Brother,
pretty much.
you are truly blessed to be out with, bro. That's crazy.
I got 6, man. Yo,
That's crazy.
when I was in the group therapy with the VA, and I tell dudes like when we had to like discuss it, and I'm like, yo, I got dudes like, yeah, I've been to I got a Article 15 or whatever, and I'm like, yo, I got 6, and they're like 6. And I'm like, yeah, man. They're like, yo, you sure you ain't get a medical or other than honorable OTH? I'm like, nah, I got an honorable discharge. That's why I'm getting these services because I got an honorable
Hey, there you
discharge.
go. You got it. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, but nah, you're right, man. Like I ran into a lot of more
Hmm.
good times than bad, but it was a lot of bad, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, it
yeah.
was a lot of bad. It was a lot,
Hmm.
and to be that young, you know, like it's not
It's
good. And
hard to
then
handle when you're that young because, like you just said, I mean, they kept saying that you're salvageable and everything like that, but I think they needed to provide more resources for you.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, we're young, and again, these older black men, you should be looking out for me, man. You were here once
Yeah,
before. You
exactly.
you you were immature too,
Right,
so don't try to come down on me like trying to push me down because I see what you're doing. I may be young, but I'm not stupid.
right.
So I just that part of the career. If not for that, I don't know. I may have stayed in longer, but it was
Yeah.
because of him. Seriously.
You, you know what's funny? When when I went AWOL, right? I had turned myself in like after 29 days because 30 is a deserter, right? So I found like a glitch in the system because you still get paid. They'll still
Yeah,
pay you.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah. They
saying?
will.
But after 30, you don't get paid no more because you're a deserter. You
Hmm.
deserted the military, right? So I turned myself in. And the master at arms come meet me at the pier. I called the ship. I was like, yo, I'm turning myself in. So I took a cab to the base, got on. I'm walking down the pier. They meet me at the gate because I don't have my ID, right?
Hmm.
So I get on there. They're like, all right, we got give you your analysis, whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna pass it. I ain't smoke or whatever.
Mhm.
So the next day I go to my department head and he like, yo, big country white dude. He like, yo, he said, you left? He said, you a coward. He's yelling in my face. You a coward. He said, you know what? You going to Leavenworth. So he's
Mm.
trying to scare me, telling me I'm going
Right.
for Leavenworth, right?
All
And that's
bread
the
and
word.
water.
Yeah, right. So that's the
Hmm.
worst for those that don't know, Fort Leavenworth is a military prison. It's like where the worst criminals in the military are held, right? So he's like,
Hmm.
you going to Leavenworth? He said, you know what? He said, this is wartime and you went AWOL. He said, you're not worth the 50 cents that it costs to make the bullet to shoot your bitch ass in the head. That's exactly what he taught. And I'll never forget it.
Damn.
Those were his exact words. Lieutenant
Mm-mm.
Tarwater.
Nah.
Lieutenant Tarwater told me that. And you know what I said? I looked at him. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, sir. Get the F out my office. He just flipped off. He started throwing stuff and everything. And I just I smiled at him. I was just like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Because I already knew, like, what y'all gonna do? I ended up spending 80 days straight on restriction. 80 days straight, 80 days extra duty.
Dang.
I'm telling you, it's like he laughed because he just like, yo, and I made, and yo, I had, and after the 80, right, I had a week before we deployed. I had a week to do whatever I wanted to do from not being, not leave. 80 days restriction means I cannot leave the ship. I have to have an inspection 5 times a day, and I have to be
5
in bed
times.
at 10 o'clock. And I have to be in bed
Wow.
at 10 o'clock. I can't go nowhere. But, like to the
Oh,
brothers that
man.
held me down in my department, I appreciate y'all. They was bringing me new music. I would give them my card. I give them my debit card. Like, yo, such and such album dropped today. Yo,
Yeah,
go get
the
that.
care
Go get
package.
that.
I need
Right.
that.
Go
I
get
need
Bring
that.
me
that.
food.
You know what I'm saying? Bring me some food. Like, yo, when I used to drink alcohol, they know I used to drink Crown Royal. Yo, bring me that purple bag and some Sprite. You know what I'm saying? Or some ginger ale. And I used to, I lived. I survived. You know what I'm saying? I survived. And they didn't throw me in the brig neither. But,
Listen, brother. Thank you for your service.
likewise.
Oh man,
All right.
that is
You
hilarious.
know, we're running a long episode, but I want to get a little bit into the Zulu Nation. How did this come
Okay.
about for you? For us in New York, you just walk into it. It's everywhere. But Oklahoma, you in the Midwest. How does this happen?
So, me being in the Navy had a lot to do with that. So I met this brother. I call him Gucci. He's from Yonkers, and we became good friends while we were in the Navy. He was a CS, a culinary specialist, and we had both got out. This was probably 2011, 2012, and him and I, we used to always talk about hip hop, things like that, hip hop, rap, all the elements while we were underway. And one day he was talking about, because he got put on to the Zulu Nation by uh I forgot his first name, Escobar, George, I think that's
Hmm.
his name.
I know who you're talking about.
I think he just passed.
Esco.
I think he just passed away.
Yeah, he passed
Yeah, I
away in
think he just
Philly.
passed away.
Esco from Chapter 9.
Yeah. He got put on by him, and so we were just talking about it or whatever, and I inquired, and he was just giving me. He gave me the books, black, red, all the books to study and everything like that, and we just built about it for about a year or so, and so I eventually joined, and I didn't have a chapter in Oklahoma. And he said, "Well, you got to come to New York, man. You just got to meet all the family or whatever." And honestly, I didn't know what to expect whenever I came, because that was my first time being in New York. And so this was the anniversary. I forgot what year it was, but I remember Ice Cube, Ice T.
Hmm.
I forgot who else was performing. I got really drunk, bro. I ain't even gonna front. I don't remember a lot of that shit. But They were there. That was my first one. I can't remember if that's where I met you, El. I can't remember if that's the
Yeah,
one I met. But I started
I
meeting a
believe
whole
so.
bunch of people, and just the love was just like because he would say, "This is the Ike from Oklahoma." And like, "Oh yeah, bro, peace, peace, peace." You know what I'm saying? We got to get you this, we got to get you that, and I'm just like, everybody just embraced me, and it was wonderful. You know what I'm saying?
What year
And
was
I know we'll talk about that later, but that's
In
one of the things that I
2014,
truly miss. Yeah, that I missed
2013,
those
2014, one of
anniversaries.
those two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so after that, I left New York at that time, and I'm like, I need to bring this to Oklahoma. We need a chapter here. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I had to sign up 15 people in
Hmm.
order to get the chapter chartered and everything like that. And that was a very daunting task because I mean, you had to if I remember it correctly, you had to I forgot what the amount was, but they had to pay that. They had to submit the passport
$35,
photos, and a lot
$35.
of people, yeah, and a lot of people were just really weary about that. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, a lot of people said they didn't have it, but they wanted to still be down. And I'm just like, we'll see what we can do. But it took a while. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. And next thing you know, Oklahoma Zulus was born. And I that's my family, bro. That's family. Even though I live in Florida now, that's my family. One of the brothers is actually about to move here to Orlando to go to school, so I'm really excited about that because I miss being with the family. I mean, we got very close over the years, and I
Hmm.
mean, I can't say I didn't expect it, but I didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? We had so many events. We were in the community. We were doing so well. And then, what happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much been my journey, man. And it's just been building with y'all. I would come up to New York every year for the anniversary. Um, just a wonderful time. And even whenever there's not an anniversary, if I had happened to be up there, I'd always make sure I'm seeing what everybody's up to. The love has always been there. Like I said, me and my now wife, we were actually on our way to Ghana in 2019. Whenever we watched the fight, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be there for a layover. What's up? And we all watched the fight. All the Z's came through. It was wonderful. Um, Zulu is everything to me. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have it any other way.
You're in
Yeah.
Florida. You're in Orlando right now.
Yes, I moved here in 2021.
You met some of the people down there. Some of the
I
Zulu.
haven't been able to. You're talking about Zulu King Street Fam. I haven't been able to link up with him. He
When I
he's he's
split.
out there. He be moving around a lot. You know what I mean?
Yo,
So,
he's hilarious, yo.
bro, yes,
$10
His
that's a
name
holler.
is
funny dude.
hilarious. Yeah, he is. Yeah,
But
ten
I haven't
dollar
been able to
hour.
link
That's
with
my
him. But
guy.
that's something I need to do. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's him. I think his brother moved. I'm pretty sure he's still out there, but I think his brother moved. There's a guy split personality I met when I was down there, and I've seen him on some I've seen him somehow Zoom. I forgot where. But
Were you in
Split.
Central Florida? Because I know there's a lot of them in South Florida.
there's I was in St. Cloud. Um is that where it's
Ooh,
called?
where is that? Where is that?
It's in Orlando because when I go but I feel like where I was staying in this place called St. Cloud. But where the events are is like the beer commission that's in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice little scene out there, and a lot of them are Zulu. There's an older dude named Chico, the vibe captain. He's like older Zulu, but there's people from like when there was a Zulu chapter. Like there's like a Malika that knew all the Zulus when I like all the Florida Zulus when they were like thriving. So there's like
Mm-hmm.
still remnants of them around. Freeze, right? I think Freeze just passed away, but a lot of people knew him. But there's still some people definitely in Orlando. I'm gonna be down there soon in May, right? May I'll probably go down there.
Yeah, hit me up, bro. Hit me up.
Yeah.
We'll
I
link
used
up.
to go twice a year. I'm not gonna go in January, but I'm gonna go in May, most definitely. And I'll be up
Yeah, 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 for
for a
sure.
few days. when I holler, most definitely. But yeah,
Koopa, if I
yo, this.
recall, mhm, mhm.
Oh,
What you
you want
said?
me to go? Okay? This is what I wanted to
No, go
ask.
ahead.
When you were recruiting the 15 people, how did you do that? You went and just like, how did you do that?
So I got linked up with everybody because I had sent out this message or this post on Facebook, and I don't know if y'all know but I know you know Melvin, but y'all know Joshua Rolette, that's Coda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Heard of
So
him. Yeah.
so at the time I got linked up with him. He was going to be my mentor whenever everything was getting going, because at the time he was the regional director for the Midwest
The
region.
Midwest.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So he knew of a few b-boys down in Oklahoma City, and he had tagged one of them on my post and said, "Hey, y'all should link up or whatever." And then that b-boy, he linked me with some other people, and I chopped it up with them, and then I started going to a few of the events in Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
City. Just I had my beads on and everything, and just chopping it up with people, and eventually it built to 15 people. Just connecting like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
I
That's
pictured him
dope.
on the streets, like, yo, what hell? What the-
I
Like you
Mhm.
mean,
want you want to be
there was a lot
down.
of that.
that's so
There was some of that, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, what y'all doing going to the park, like on some street guys going to the park? It's like, what y'all doing? That's why I was like, how
want to
did you,
be
you know what I
you want to
mean?
be
Yeah, it
Zulu.
was tough. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It was definitely tough.
I know how we did it with the 15 members, the application, what the laws and the beliefs. You had to learn all that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That was the
Hmm.
founder. Well, not the founder, but keeping the tradition alive. You did that. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
Why L look frozen?
he do. He's not
Yeah.
though. I
Do
think
you
he's
hear
like.
me?
I
Yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear
Yeah,
you.
you're
We
Oh,
split,
definitely
okay. Yeah.
frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I see that. I see
distinct.
that. What I
Split
wanted
pose,
to
brother.
ask you, I remember like a story where I think Ninth Wonder came to Oklahoma. Was that the
Hmm.
and y'all had linked up with him, and that, I guess this is like after the Africa Bambaataa scandal. So I think
Hmm.
but yeah, speak on that when you got to meet Ninth Wonder and all of that.
So he had came in, I believe it was 20. Was that 2018? I can't remember what year it was, but I remember I reached out to him. I didn't have his personal number or anything like that. I just reached out to him on IG, and I'm thinking, man, this brother ain't gonna reply to me. He ain't gonna do it, whatever. But he replied, and I'm just like, hey, I see you're gonna be in town. The family would love to meet you. Just let me know if we can arrange this. And he was gracious enough. He was like, yeah, just let me know whenever y'all can come through. And I unfortunately I had to work that day, so I didn't get to go and build with the brother. But most of the OKZs went over there and they met him, said he was a real cool guy, and it was good for us. I'm glad that they got to experience that, because you know, uh, anytime family comes through, you want to go meet family and everything. So it was
No
good.
doubt, no doubt. Yeah, yeah. I saw y'all were pretty deep when y'all met him and all of
Yeah.
that. I thought that was pretty dope.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Peace to Ninth Wonder. I think he's a solid brother. I really
Yeah.
respected his contribution to Zulu at the time. He was doing a lot of
Hmm.
work in the
Hmm.
time frame where you all came in to the
Yep.
organization, and I know that had a like Q-Tip had a lot to do with that, mentoring him into the Zulu Nation, and then Ninth Wonder really
Hmm.
putting it on his back and you know, just doing the work. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I thought that was cool that y'all linked up with the brother. You know, yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming through and giving us, your story. I'm sure there's a lot more we could speak on, and we would love to have you back on. I can listen to you and Watt talk about the military all
Yeah.
day. I
Man.
love those stories. Watt yo, he be telling me I'll be crying listening to this brother's stories, man. He be telling me stories for
Listen, yeah,
days.
we
Nah,
definitely got to
you
do
meet
another
some
part. Definitely.
characters. Yeah, you meet a lot of characters in the military, and it's
Hmm.
like a movie, man. Like you're like, yo, man, I didn't think people like this exist in real life.
Hey, listen, we got to do this again. We could talk,
Yeah,
man. We
no,
all got
definitely.
stories.
Oh
Telling you,
man, I'm
telling you.
sure. And you was on a small boy, so I already know. Like I
Yes,
know the testosterone was crazy, especially like with no. Did y'all did you go on a did you deploy at all? I meant to
yes,
ask you that.
yeah. We I deployed in 2008, and then in 2010. In 2008, we went to the Persian Gulf, and then
Okay,
in 2010, we went to the Horn of Africa to do pirate ops.
okay.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah,
But we
I
also had women on our ship too. So
okay. On a DDG,
yeah. Hmm.
a
You're,
whole
th-
like.
yeah. You're thinking of a frigate. The frigates
Oh,
didn't
right,
have
right.
women.
The frigate is a smaller. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The DDG is the longer.
Hmm.
I find it
Yeah.
interesting how you two are talking and you're saying the terms, and we're following along, right? But Watt stopped and explained. What did he stop to explain? He was like, Leavenworth is the prison. Like that's the thing he stopped to explain, not
Well,
the
a
three
DD the
all
Not
the
the
terms you
E6,
speak.
the E4, the E.
oh
We lost.
a DDG is
That's fine.
what is
We
it?
got it.
A
We followed along.
destroyer
Yeah,
guided
yeah.
guided.
DDG is guided missile destroyer. Then you have
Got,
FFG. That's a
right.
frigate.
Frigate.
Um, he was
I
on an
was on the
LSD.
LHD. That I was on LHD, a landing helo
LHD.
dock,
Yeah,
and
No,
an
we got it.
E6
We got it.
is an enlist. Is the high. No, E9 is actually the highest enlisted,
yeah,
right? Highest
yeah.
enlisted, right?
E6 is a first class petty
Is a first
officer.
class petty officer, right?
Yeah.
I got
Okay,
Hmm.
out.
okay.
What was you when you got out? What were you?
I was an E4 when I got out.
Okay. Yeah, I was at E3 because I kept getting busted.
I bet you were, bro. No disrespect. No
Nah, I don't. Yo, man, yo, when when I went AWOL, right? You know how they used to list you know how they used to list the pay chart in the hangar
yeah.
bay? Well, ours
Hmm.
was in the hangar bay, right? The hangar bay is
Hmm.
where, the air department worked, and it's like a open space where they chain down aircrafts. If there wasn't any room on the flight deck, they would lower the side of the flight deck, and they would like when we're underway, when we're out to sea, they would have like helos and stuff
Mm,
chained down in the hangar bay. But there's a wall on the boat. We call it the wall of bulkhead, right? So on the bulkhead, there's like everybody. It's like the first two letters of your last name and the last four of your social. So that's how you look to see how much you
Hmm.
were gonna get paid for that week or whatever. So I remember um when you go to captain's mass, you normally get a fine with the crime, right? So it'll be like they'll give you like 45 days restriction, 45 days extra duty, half month's pay. Or sometimes they might be like half month's pay times two, right? So I don't even remember what my fine was because I was already on restriction when I escaped the ship. So when I came back, I just had to add on extra, which it made 80 days, right? Because you're not supposed to do like they normally give you 60 days, right? If they give you the max is 60 days flat. No extra duty, I think, because they can only give you 45 extra duty. 60, they just give you 60, but mine was added on, so it didn't count. The 60 didn't count. So I had to do 80, right? I went to the board one day. Wallahi, my joint said zero. $0, 0 cents.
Damn. For the
Zero
whole week
dollars,
or, the,
zero
or,
cent.
or
And I
2 weeks, a month?
for the
What is
whole
that?
2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, two
No
weeks.
bread.
So I'm working for nothing. I'm
yeah.
working for nothing.
Wow.
And like I'm already on the ship. So I'm confined to the ship. So I'm not spending no money no way unless it's like, yo, let me get some food, buy me a CD or whatever. Cause I could really eat on the ship. Three hots and a cot, as they say in jail. Like I could really eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I really don't need to be spending no money. I don't need to spend it on no clothes. I can't go nowhere. I can't go out on Liberty and do anything.
You're a
So,
mess.
like when that joint says zero, when I saw zero, I said, yo, I need to get it together. And that wasn't my last time going to mass either. The last time I went, it was because I had a fight. And it's crazy because this kind of ruined my naval career because I was gonna extend. I wasn't gonna re-enlist. I was gonna extend 6 months. I was like, yeah, like order me the test. I'm an E3. Order me the test. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna like, even if I'm gonna try my best to get a perfect score, so that like the eval won't even affect me PNAing because they can't deny you if you get a certain score. Like they
Right.
can't deny you. They have to give it to you. They have to frock you. Frock you mean advancement and give you a chevron, which is
Mhm.
a petty officer insignia, right? So
Okay.
I had a fight with an E5. I had more timing than him too. He was an E5 white dude. He might have been high or on steroids. I know he do steroids now. He a bodybuilder, whatever. Me and him had a fight over a light switch. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to go to sleep in the lounge, and I had watch, and I wanted to shine my boots. So I'm like, yo, just go in your rack. You got your head down on the table, go on your right. He's like, yo, don't touch the light. Boom, he turned the light off, put his head down. As soon as he sat back down and put his head down, I turned the light back on. He was like, yo, touch the light one more time. So he turned the light off. I turned the light back on. He grabbed me. I had my CD player, you know what I'm saying, in my hand. Now, mind you, I got shower shoes on because I'm lounging. I got like long, I got thermal pants on with some basketball shorts on over them and a t-shirt. He in
What
full
CD was
uniform, steel
playing?
toe boots. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. It
Might
might
have
have
been
been Wu
Mob
Tang
Deep.
because I was really, nah.
Camp
It might. I
Lo.
think it was Wu. Might have been
Camp
Wu.
Lo.
But soon as he grabbed me, I
Funky
hit him with the
Beers.
CD player. CD fly out. CD player shatters. We in there scrapping in the lounge. Everybody come out. Yo, chill, chill, chill. Like we separate. They grab me. He sucker punch me. Well, it ain't even a sucker punch because we fighting. But when they grab me, he hit me. So I break free. I get to my locker. I take the padded lock off. I take the combination lock off. And he used to be a wrestler in
Mm.
high school. So when I come out the aisle. He's like, oh, he turning around. He's like, yo, you still want that? So he rushed me and like he tried to do like a single leg takedown. And I'm all in the top of his head with the lock. Bow, 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 banging him in the top of the head, hitting him all in his ear. Like his ear was bleeding, whatever. We both got in trouble, but they gave me more time. They punished me more.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying?
Of
And
course.
like he started the fight. And I'm like, yo, like I went off on her. I said, you know what? I made them order the test and I didn't take it. And they were pissed. And I tell you, when you know how you gotta get checked out through each department when you I didn't go to TAPS. I didn't go to what's the thing? When you're getting out and adjusting to civilian life, you gotta take that class. Is it
Oh,
called
you talking about,
TAPS?
yeah, that's top class. That's
TAPS.
taps, but
I didn't go to
terminal leave
TAPS.
too.
Right. I
Mhm.
didn't go to TAPS. I had a lot of leave saved up, so I got out 2 months early. Um, and I didn't. Somebody stole my boots. Right. Somebody stole my steel toe boots. So I was walking around the ship with
Why?
my coveralls on with some Nike Dunks, and ain't nobody say nothing. Yo, they was like, yo, we're not signing you out. We're not signing you out until you get some boots. So I had to end up going to Payless and getting some little cheap Caterpillar boots. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
yo,
Just to get out.
you had a hell of a Navy career, bro.
I did. Yo, I don't have 1 year good conduct.
That's our guy right there.
I don't have
Word.
1 year good conduct. And,
Oh,
and I
beloved.
actually tried, like I said, before that fight, I actually tried to say, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get myself together. I was dating somebody at the time on the ship, and she was trying to make a career out of it, and it was making her look bad at the time.
Mhm.
And so I'm just like, yo, let me get myself together. And the dude put his hands on me, and I reacted. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going back to New York. This ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? And when I came back to pick up my DD-214, I didn't want them to mail it. I came up there with a full beard. And they was like, well, technically this your last day. We can make you go shave. And I was high too. I was high. And I just was like, yo, they
A
was
mess.
they was like, yo, man, you crazy. They was like, hurry up, sign this. Just go. Just go. And I'm a
Get
plank
your
owner
ass on
too.
me.
I'm a plank owner too because
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
they had to ding you off.
yeah, right, and I made them too. I made them. I made them. I said, "Yo," I said, "What you want us to say?" I said, "Bosun May Seaman Wilson departing," and that was it. And
What
that
the
was it.
hell
Yeah,
is a blank owner?
a bosun's mate is one of the oldest rates in the Navy besides hospital corpsman. It's actually they steer the ship, they moor the ship. You know the people that be on the line, the ropes. Well, y'all
Mhm.
call them ropes, we call it mooring lines. We moor the ship on the pier and on the ship. So we're responsible for that. We're responsible in part with engineering for navigation also and lookout watch for like whatever can't be seen by the operations specialist do like the sonar tech and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
um
He also asked what a plank owner is. A plank owner is a person who was stationed on the ship when that ship was commissioned, one of the
Commission,
first
right?
people
Yeah,
on
the first crew. I
So
was
whenever, yeah, he's part of the
right.
first crew on the ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right,
so
right,
when
right.
the
Yeah,
ship
Juan
gets
told me that.
decommissioned, when the ship gets decommissioned, all the plank owners actually are supposed to get presented with a piece of the ship. I'm not sure if they're
Mm.
Mhm.
gonna reach out to everybody when the LHD-7 is decommissioned.
You
I
got an
don't
honorable
know.
discharge, so they
Yeah, yeah.
got to
Oh,
give
they
it.
gotta give it to me. I have my plank. My mother has my plank owner plaque.
Hmm.
Yo, it's crazy, man. I threw all my uniforms in the trash, all my ribbon. People was like taking when I left, they were taking the uniforms out because people that stuff is expensive. You get an
Yeah,
allotment for uniforms, and then like if you getting pins and stuff, like you gotta have like when you're in your dress uniforms, if you have a surface or air pin, you have to be full dressed in full uniform all the time. So whatever pins you have, whatever medals and ribbons you have, they have to be on the right side. They have to be in
hmm,
order. Like it's really like, and that's another thing that I think you can attest to also, King. Being organized, like that's still like I still fold my clothes a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And like being able to pick up and go at any given
yeah,
time. That's
hmm,
something that you learn because when you're in boot camp, you got pack your sea bag. You should be able, they teach us to pack in less than 10 minutes, all your
hmm,
stuff and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like a lot of the stuff, like some of that stuff became second nature after a while, for doing it for so long, for 4 years, and then like it's like waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth.
hmm.
A lot of that stuff is second nature. I don't fold my bed. I don't do the 45s in my bed, but
No, no, no,
like
hell no.
that's a little bit too extreme. But actually folding the t-shirts and all of that, like to make more room in your drawer, like my
Hmm,
t-shirts are still folded the way they show you how to fold in the military.
hmm.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
So we kind of
I
like
could listen to these
conditioned
stories all
still in
day,
in a
man.
way.
I would love for y'all to
Nah.
just do an episode. Y'all two, y'all two, just do an episode
Oh,
and
nah,
go
we could
off.
do that.
Uh,
No, we could
yeah,
do
Absolutely,
that.
nah,
We could
nah,
do
y'all
that.
should.
absolutely.
I wanna.
We could do that.
I'll be curious.
Cause I want
I
to hear
love
his
to hear these
overseas
stories.
stories. Cause I know we
Hey,
had, I know we had
I got
some,
a lot,
I know
bro.
we had some crazy stuff going on
Yeah.
too, man.
Hmm.
A lot of women getting
Yeah,
flown
King,
off
let
because
us
they was
know.
pregnant.
Wow. Let us know, Cooper, when
Yeah,
you're free
nah,
to
for
come
real.
back. 2-3 weeks down the line, if you're free. Let's get together again and continue on a little bit if possible.
Absolutely. Hey, whenever y'all
Also
want me
want to
here,
get
I'll be
into
here. Just
your.
let me know.
I also wanted to get into this, but we'll touch it on the next one when we get you back. How you
Hmm.
were striving to get into politics out there before you moved to Florida
Oh
and some of
yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah,
I want to know
definitely.
what inspired you and some of the challenges that you faced. And if there's still you know a desire within you to continue that down in Florida, because I know you were getting pretty political. And, curious
I
to
be
know,
seeing him every
what
day. He be
inspired
going
that.
off.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And
I definitely got a
we'll
story
touch
with
on that.
all that.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get you on a
Yeah.
part two ASAP. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But I
sir.
thank you,
Yes,
for your
sir.
story. I really enjoyed this one. Your brothers are crazy with the stories. But big respect to you and the Oklahoma
Yes,
Zulus,
sir.
and man,
Yes.
big love, big respect to y'all, man. Thank y'all, brothers, for
Yes.
Word,
doing this
Appreciate it.
today.
Appreciate it.
Well,
Appreciate it. Love
all
y'all,
right,
bros, man.
word,
yeah,
word,
love you
love.
too, King, for real, man. Big respect. All right,
Like that.
peace.
Yep.
He was
Peace.